Hello everyone, it's Anthony. I am the writer and the colorist for the comic book The Human Wrestler. And someone from my local comic book creating group, Stash Publishing, asked me how you can color over the black ink lines in a page in Photoshop. So I thought I'd make a little video and demonstrate that with page 17 of The Human Wrestler. Now what we want to do is, we've got these black lines here. And sometimes in comic books, you'll want to use something other than black, and usually that's to create a special effect. Like in superhero comics, sometimes you see it with things like energy beams and lasers and stuff like that. It really helps to make the art pop out of the page a little bit. So what I want to do here with page 17, I have this outside grocery scene, and what I want to do is make this grocery plus sign look like it's glowing, like we have a neon light and it's lit up. So in order to do that, I'm going to be coloring over these black lines. Real quick, I'm going to show you how I've set up my color file in Photoshop. Going from the background to the foreground, I usually have a single layer that's just a white background, and then on top of that I have my flats. And then on that I have my shades. And then that also includes things like these little dot effects and some special little things I pasted in. And then finally sitting on top are my ink layers. And this page is not done, but I wanted to use it because it's going to be a good example of coloring over the black lines. So to start off with, what we want to do is create a new layer. And this layer is going to go above the ink layer. And we can call this something like colored lines. So the next step is to select all the black. And I'm going to turn this off so you see exactly what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and zoom in. We're going to use our wand tool, which is over here, or you can get to it with the W key. And I'm going to make sure anti-alias is set to off. And click on any black line, it doesn't matter what. You want to make sure also that contiguous is set to off. Let me show you real quick what that would do. So if I have contiguous checked, it's only going to select the black lines that are connected to each other. If I turn it off, it will select all the black on the page, which is what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these back on. So what I want is to use like a really bright blue to make it look like a neon glow. So we go in here to our color picker. And because I'm in CMYK mode, I'm generally going to just focus on these things here. And real quick, I'll show you something. This icon here, this exclamation point, will appear if you are picking out a color that is not going to print in CMYK mode. This is your screen color. This is showing you what it's going to actually look like in print. So you got to pay attention to that, especially when you're doing some super bright colors. But for this, we're just going to do all sand and do it like, let's try this 70% blue. So I'm going to select my pencil tool, which is anti-alias, and I'm going to go to my colored line layer. And because all my black is selected, I'm not going to be able to color anything else but the black. And that comes in handy for something like this because I'm going to pick a brush that is going to take up all of the black. You see, it just is going to color the black only and nothing else. And if I want to get this really crazy and speed this up, again, choose a really big brush and do this. See, we're just coloring over the black. We're not touching anything else in this layer because only the black is selected. And this, to me, is the quickest, simplest, easiest way to do this. For the plus, I'm actually going to change it to this lighter color here. And I'm going to paint over those lines, like so. So once I turn off my selection, you see that I now have changed the black to a different color. Now at this point, it adds something to it, but to me it really doesn't make it pop out. So to do that, I am actually going to add a layer effect. So I go to my layer menu, and I go to layer style. And what I'm going to do is add an outer glow to this layer. Give a nice little spread here. Down the opacity just a bit. And if I zoom out, there you have it. You have a glowing neon sign. So that was just a quick tutorial. I'm not saying that this is the only way or even the best way. It seems like with Photoshop and comic coloring, there's always a different way, and tends to be always a better way. But this is the method that I've been using. It's pretty quick to paint over the black lines. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to like Human Wrestler on Facebook, and also like Sash Publishing on Facebook. We're a local group in Southern Illinois, and we're putting out some really, really cool stuff. Thanks, everyone.